Alright, so we begin. The very first thing that we do is skip through a bunch of menus. Skip through a bunch of text. A few seconds in, we'll be good to go. There are two tutorials up at the beginning. One is a movement tutorial, the next is a fighting tutorial. But now we get into our first fight. Our first fight is up against Bosch. So, against him, he's not really that good, right? So you just flash knuckle him right to the edge. And right here, I'm doing a bunch of blows, and that ends the fight, right? There is something like an optimal fight for you to do in this case. So what I did first was that quarter circle back heavy flash knuckle, followed by low quarter circle back medium flash knuckle. And that quarter circle back medium flash knuckle into low, that will loop into itself during this fight. Bosch is just not particularly reactive at this point, and so you can loop into that. So quarter circle back heavy flash knuckle into crouching medium, quarter circle back medium flash knuckle. And you just loop that until he's dead. If you do one crouching medium, that's okay, as long as the rest of them are quarter circle backs. So this fight, not really a fight, you're just doing the assist combos. She likes to block, which is unfortunate. That last hit, I did assist medium rather than assist heavy, and that's just because the recovery frames are faster. Okay, so after this, we go and fight this guy. This guy is level 3, but he is very susceptible to combos. So it's an easy fight. Okay, here we go. It's an easy fight, but he is level 3, so it does take a little bit longer. The reason why we fight him specifically is because you get an immediate level up, right? And that will make this second fight faster. Very, very fast. Right? After this, we're gonna go and have ourselves some pizza. We're gonna learn how to purchase items, how to heal ourselves up in the overworld.
Oh, really?
Gonna go talk to the guy we just beat up for that. Alright, buy ourselves a green pizza.
What can I get you?
That will heal us back to full.
Thank you.
Okay, so now he's having us go to the back alleyway, but I'm gonna take a quick detour and go and fight this martial artist right here. The reason why I'm doing this is, one, I get extra experience, which is really good. But two, I get the Mighty Jawbreaker. This guy is, however, level 5, so the fight does take a little while compared to some of the other fights that we'll be doing in the early game. But yeah, see how I got 635 experience from that? That's a lot of experience for the early game. A lot of experience for the early game. So fighting him this early is very beneficial. We're immediately level 4, so we can go into this fight and the next few fights a level above where we would normally be. Quick and easy fight. That was just a basic tutorial on, hey, multiple enemies will sometimes come at you. You need to be ready to handle this.
Hey.
Okay. After this, we're gonna go and learn how to use the shop system. So, apparel. Apparel is basically your gear. in any other RPG. You go in, you get a hat, you get a shirt, you get some shoes. You know, there are accessories that you can do, that you can get that will give you extra benefits.
Take your time. Thank you.
Yeah, basically we just went in, bought ourselves a hat, and that's it.
Hey.
Alright, so now we're going to go fight our master, Luke. Now, Luke is level 10 at this point.
Hold up.
Can you fight him? Yes. Can you beat him? Yes, you can. But it is significantly faster to just let him wail on you. Even better if you can line up alongside Bosch, because he will hit the both of you at the same time and deal damage to both of you at the same time. Right, and that's that fight. So after this, we're going to unlock the master system. So we are enrolled as Luke's apprentice or his student. He is now our master. We can use his style. We can use his moves. We can use a couple of his special moves. He gives us a couple master actions. And what master actions are movement actions out in the overworld. So you can do rising uppercut in order to jump on top of a truck. Or you can use...
How'd it go?
Here in a little bit, you'll be able to use spinning bird kick from Chun-Li to traverse over gaps, which you can't normally do. There are also some damaging moves, but there aren't a whole lot of strictly damaging moves in terms of master actions. Okay, so now we're going to come up here. And we're going to get ourselves a slightly better hat, which is in this one, and we're going to get ourselves a punch booster. Punch boosters and kick boosters and vitality boosters and all that good stuff, all of those are permanent buffs. And in this case, punch boosters give you plus 15 to your punch stat. That is significant. Plus 15 to your punch is something along the lines of 4 or 5 levels worth of punch stat. So it would be 5 levels before I could get to this point without it. So all of that menuing that I just did, all of that was to set up, not for this, but was to set up for an upcoming fight. So I chose Chun-Li's style, I swapped into the hat, I used the punch booster, and I adjusted my special moves so that I would have Gladius, and I think Eagle Spike. I missed it on my way through, but I think I picked up Eagle Spike at this point. Okay, so now we're just talking to Chun-Li. We're going to talk to Li Fen. I'm getting Chun-Li as my master.
Correct. Now then.
And here we go. I am now Chun-Li's student. I have her moveset, and I have a couple of her moves, Kikoken and Spinning Bird Kick. The reason why I had them earlier than this is because you can unlock masters via kudos. You can unlock masters via kudos either through running through the main story or in the fighting ground. You can go through ranked matches and fight. You can go into the battle hub and fight. You can go through World Tour and fight as their particular style. And for every time you do that, you will get some amount of kudos. You need 22,000 kudos per character in order to unlock their styles. So I had to do a lot of grinding in order to unlock these characters. Alright, Spinning Bird Kick.
Spinning bird kick.
It is a damaging move that also closes gaps. Oop. The easiest way to take care of these three guys down on the ground is to just be right in their face, do a down heavy punch. Well, I guess just down heavy in the case of modern controls, but down heavy into heavy gladius. And if I had hit this guy with my spinning bird kick, I would have been able to just knock him out in after the gladius.
That's right. Spinning bird kick.
Okay, the reason why I chose to do rising uppercut at that point instead of spinning bird kick was because each master action takes a certain amount of your drive gauge. Right up at the top right, underneath my name and level, you'll see 3 bars. That's my drive gauge out in the overworld. Spinning bird kick takes 1.5 bars of that drive, whereas rising uppercut only takes 1. Spinning bird kick does do more damage, but if you miss, you have potential to burn yourself out, and you won't be able to attack them again. Alright, so here I'm going to be using that Mighty Jaw Destroyer for a quick damage boost in this fight. I did pick up Eagle Spike, yep. So the reason I can't ended up doing Eagle Spike is because I had gotten used to using the Flash Knuckle. Eagle Spike is also a quarter circle back motion, or command input, similar to Flash Knuckle, but I replaced Flash Knuckle with the Eagle Spike, because Eagle Spike will carry me all the way to the edge of the screen if I hit. However, Heavy Eagle Spike does not combo with your standard moves. Not very well. You have to have a very long recovery time after their attack, or after the attack, for Eagle Spike Heavy to combo. And unfortunately, it doesn't, so they had the chance to block, and I kept messing that one up. So that's some time save that somebody could pick up later on.
I see. Thank you.
So this guy is a foo-tuber instead of, you know, the standard modern day YouTuber. He kind of just hangs out near the various main story quest markers, and he says, yeah, I'm going to record your fights. You're going to look amazing for all of the fans. Yada yada. We don't really care about him in the story. Never talk to him again. Okay, so this will be our first interaction with the Mad Gear Gang. And it's a relatively simple fight, but there are a lot of fighters in this case. Okay, yeah, you see how I ended up right at the corner with the Eagle Spike? That's what I wanted. Eagle Spike is very good at hitting multiple enemies because it carries all the way to the corner on hit. Alright, now we have a second fight. We just realized in the main story that Bosch had stolen something from them. And in the course of the story, we find out that he stole a fat wad of cash. So we're here trying to help him out escape from the Mad Gear Gang. And so he's running away. But now, this girl standing in front of the ladder is not going to let us progress with the story until we get that bag back. Because they need it, and she's not going to let us slide, helping them lose it. Alright, so now I'm fighting Alice again. The reason why I'm fighting Alice again is because after I defeat her, she gives me a bronze nugget. And a bronze nugget is a money item that I can sell for 5,000 zenny. 5,000 zenny is a lot. Excuse me, a lot for the early game. And I need a certain amount of money for a particular purchase here in about half an hour.
There you are.
Alright, so rather than continuing with the main story, I am running down here, and there is a reason for that. The reason for that is there are 2 items that are incredibly beneficial for the early game. The first one is this one, the Devil Wings. These Devil Wings give me a large damage buff at the expense of diminishing my health, like a poison effect, for the entire round. And in the overworld, your health carries over from fight to fight. This second item that I just got is a helmet. It's a hat. So I'm switching up to Marissa's style, equipping the hat that I just picked up and equipping the Devil Wings. And I'm doing that so that I can have a lot of punching power. Marissa hits very hard in terms of her punches. And punches are the stat that we're going to be boosting the most. So using her style, which is a very punch-heavy style, in addition to having all of the punch-boosting items, makes for a very damaging character. The helmet is the highest damaging, or the highest punch-boosting helmet that we can get before we go to another specific area. Okay, so this fight, I did not intend to get hit. This one you can actually skip, and it doesn't always spawn, but if you do it, then you will get enough experience to level up to level 8 before you go to Marissa. We will be traveling from here to Italy here in 5 minutes or so. And we'll be talking to Marissa and getting the chance to fight her and get her style. But while we're in Italy, there is a vendor who sells another punch booster. So we want to be able to purchase that. The problem is, it's expensive. The punch booster over there is 10,000 zenny, and I don't have anywhere near that much. So I've been collecting items as I go. I've been collecting the bronze nugget that I got from Alice. I went and talked to the Watcher at the very beginning. I didn't discuss that, but he gives you a medium healing drink, I think. I missed that this time, but I did get it this time, and I will... Oh, goodness. But I will sell this energy drink as well, and this will give me an extra 1,000 on top of the 1,500 that I would normally get. Okay, so this fight is where I would normally get the experience I got from the dancers. The Mad Gear guys down at the treasure chest. This fight gives you about the same experience. It's 375-ish, I think. Last one was 377. Okay, 354. Yeah, either way, it's enough. So I'm level 8. At level 8, you can go through your skill tree, which I haven't gone over yet, but we can discuss it here in a second. You can go through and get there is a skill that will reduce the prices for all of the items that a vendor will sell you. So, healing potions, food buffs, apparel, all of that good stuff, you can buy it at a discount if you have this particular skill. Alright, so these 2 people that I just fought, they are your first introduction to the pressure time system. Pressure time is whenever they're glowing that white around their body. If you hit them with an effective attack during that time, then you get what's called pressure time, and effectively you get a damage boost on that hit, plus they will be stunned for a moment, and you can continue with a combo. Okay, so here we are finally going to Italy. We're going to the Colosseo, we're going to talk to Marissa. so this is a fight that is required. You cannot skip it. But just like Luke at the very beginning, you can let her just defeat you and you're fine. This is another reason why the Devil Wings are actually quite useful. They start ticking away at your health, but the CPU doesn't always attack you. Alright, so you see how I'm knocking her down? If you knock her down 5 times, you will get another energy drink, which you can then sell. Alright, so here, I'm just waiting. I keep wanting Marissa to attack me, but she's not attacking me. The best she's doing, medium punch, a couple, she had a light punch, a couple medium punches, but she's really not attacking. And what I need for her to do is just attack me. Even if I fought back to try and, you know, goad her into attacking me, it might be faster to just wait. If I wanted to fight her legitimately and, you know, save my Mighty Jawbreaker or Mighty Jaw Destroyer for this fight, I could do that. But it wouldn't make the fight any faster. It would give me a lot more experience. That's true. But it wouldn't make the fight any faster. Okay, so what I did just there was I unlocked Haggler, and that's the skill that I had mentioned to make all of these items, less expensive. And so here I am selling even my shirt, and I'm selling my pants, because there are a few upcoming fights, and I'm selling my shoes. There are a few upcoming fights where you want to lose as quickly as possible. There are DJ is another fight that you have to do. There is a jury fight that you have to do, and you fight Luke again. And so you want to have as little defense for those as possible. But I kept my helmet on because that improves my punch stat. And there are fights that I have to actually win between now and then. So I do keep my helmet on, even though it is, at this point in the game, the highest defensive value item that I have. So I went to Marissa, I picked up that little emblem that she had, she tested my ability to fight, got myself another lucky energy drink. I have never seen 2 balloons happen here. That is this run was the first time I had ever seen that. So very lucky.
You don't say.
But yeah, we got the emblem, we had this counterfeiter make the bag that we were missing. We're gonna go back to Mad Gear and deliver the bag to them. This guy. Alright, so these guys are quest givers that will unlock fast travel points. They give you bus stops, effectively. So you have fast travel from one place to another. Alright, now we're back to Mad Gear, and we're gonna try and give them the bag, and she's like, no, you're not getting off scot-free. We're gonna take the bag, but we're also gonna punish you for helping them get away with it. Okay. So that move was Manon's command grab. That is an incredibly important move for this run. At least to me. In a lot of fights, there are people who will just block. They will just defend. But if you go up and grab them, they will fail to that. So you go up, you grab them. It's the highest damaging grab move that you have access to. Or its speed.
Listen, help me out.
It also loops pretty well against the AI. Alright, so now what we're doing is we just talked to Thrasher, and he's like, hey, I like somebody who's strong. Why don't you help me out, and I'll help you out with whatever you're doing. Like, okay, that's fine. I'll help you out. We're gonna go figure out what's going on with the current tournament, why all the roads are blocked, what's going on, and we're going to realize that somebody has posted threatening posters all over the city about the tournament, saying, "Hey, don't go here. There's gonna be, a ruckus." Alright, so we're gonna come over here. This first poster's been all torn up. We're gonna have to go find another one. Thankfully, this guy has said, "Oh, I remember seeing another one back over on where you first met your counterfeiter guy." I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna go over there then and take a look at this poster and then give it to Thrasher. And Thrasher will say, "What is this? Like, this is ridiculous. Bomb threats in Metro City? Really?" But yeah, so we took that down. But before we go back to Thrasher, there are a couple things we want to do. First, we want to talk to this person, talk to this quest giver, so we can complete unlocking a new area. Then we're going to fight this guy. This guy is the previous bus stop giver's target. So we're going to fight him and unlock the bus stop.
For real?
Thankfully, he just spawns in right there. Now we have a fast travel point to Chinatown. This is an important fast travel point. There are many fast travel points that are just not worth going for in this run. But this one, we come back to over and over and over again.
What do you want?
So this fight is for the second side quest that we picked up to unlock the new area. The new area is called the Thunderfoot Settlement, and what's there is the early game's most important items. We're going to get 2 handcuffs. The handcuffs are going to give us a benefit of having a large damage boost as long as we have at least 90% of our health. For the early game, that's incredibly important. And even into the end of the game, we're going to keep those 2 handcuffs. We're going to keep those handcuffs. Right now, we can only use 1 accessory. That's the Devil Wings. We're going to be using these until we unlock the handcuffs. We'll be unlocking the handcuffs here in a minute. The second thing that we're going to be getting from the Thunderfoot Settlement is a shirt called the Aloha shirt, and that gives us a medium damage boost, so not quite as much as the handcuffs will give us, but it will give us the medium damage boost as long as we're over 70%. So we're going to get 3 damage boosting items to replace our lack of a shirt right now, and to replace the Devil Wings. But before that, we had to fight Lily. Preferably lose to Lily, and lose quickly. Another reason why we unequipped our shirt, pants, and shoes. Quick fight. Fight's done and over with. Now we're going to talk to Luke. Luke says, "Hey, I heard that Bosch went to England." Okay, great. After he ran away, we're trying to find him. We can't find him. I just picked up from that treasure chest a silver nugget. Alright, so I'm going to sell the items that I've collected from the people. I'm going to sell the money items. And then I'm going to buy Throw Booster, which is the third important item. And I'm going to buy the shirt and the handcuffs. But I'm not going to equip them. Not yet. I'm going to stay in my in Mother Nature's form up until after I fight Luke. here is another fight where I want to have as little defense as possible.
Final round. Fight.
So that jury fight was okay. It wasn't the cleanest. A lot of times, if you get positioned properly, she will just like defeat you in an instant and knock Bosch out in the next combo. That does happen. This one took a little bit longer than several of the other fights that I've had against her. Alright. So now that I've fought Jury, Bosch has been kidnapped. Like, okay, I don't know where he's going. Let's do something else in the meantime. Luke said, hey, let's get your mind off of things. We're gonna send you out. Go pick something up from a couple different places around the world and come back. Okay, first place we're going is to Jamaica. We're going to meet up with DJ. DJ is another fight that we have to lose. Or another fight that we cannot skip, rather. The fastest way to make it through is to lose to this fight. Now that said, there is a fight immediately after this where it's better to win, or where we have to win in order to pick up our souvenir. Thankfully, DJ plays much nicer than Lily or Luke or Marissa. As long as you're pretty close, he'll attack you. And that's the fight.
Manners and respect.
Okay, so now that fight's over, we're gonna go over here and talk to this girl who's dancing. And she's like, hey, show me your moves. So we fight. Alright, moves have been shown. Now that she's been defeated, we'll get a little bit of money, and we're going to get a souvenir for Luke. With that obtained, we can move on to the next place, and we're going to go to the Ranger's Hut. The Ranger's Hut is in Brazil, home of Blanca. Thankfully, we don't have to fight Blanca. What we do have to do, however, is talk to him, and this talk takes a little while, because there are a lot of... there's a long section of this where we're not saying anything. Like right now, he's just dancing up and down, and then he's gonna beat his chest and flex, and he's gonna explain the cryptid of the rainforest, and you're just gonna be confused. And no dialogue at all. We're just waiting for it to end. Unfortunately, this is not a skippable cutscene. Alright, so next we can go and talk to this guy, and he's going to give us the souvenir. And that's it. We're done here. Alright, so now that we're back in the United States, we're going to go and talk to Luke. The whole reason why we got those souvenirs is so that we could give them to him. And he is going to start teaching us about the drive system. So, the drive system comes in a couple different flavors. There is an offense, drive impact. There is a defense, drive rush, or not drive rush, but drive reversal. He doesn't go into the drive reversal in this particular tutorial, but he does also go into the parry system, and that's a defensive system. So hit Luke with 3 drive impacts. Drive impact hits hard. At the expense of a bar of your drive gauge, it will armor through 2 moves that he hits you with, and then counterattack. So this mission is just, hey, fight Luke. I do use the Mighty Jaw Destroyer here, not because I get more damage, but because I take more damage for using it. The Mighty Jaw Destroyer and the Ultra Mighty Jaw Decimator, its upgraded version, give me an attack boost at the expense of a defense reduction. But in this particular fight, we want that defense reduction because it makes it go faster. Alright, now we have a lot of money, we've sold all of our stuff, we just talked to Luke, we're gonna go out here, and we're going to get the single most important thing that we can buy in the game, and that is food. We're going to get what's called the drone delivery system, and what that allows us to do is to purchase temporary food buffs, 3-minute, 5-minute food buffs that will improve, while we're here, it will improve our attack damage, it can improve our defense, it can improve our throw damage, it can do all sorts of different things. The most important one is the attack damage, obviously. That's the one that we're going to be using the entire time. It will be up basically constantly from now until the end of the game. In front of every fight, we'll be using something. Alright, so now we're in the subway. The subway is okay. It's basically a gauntlet of 4 multi-person fights, depending on how optimally you end up positioning yourself whenever you start the fight. You can end up with, 5 or 6, depending on if you only run into 1 or 2 people at a time. But most of the time, it's only going to take 4 fights. There are 4 train cars that you have to go through, and once the train cars have been completed, you can continue on. Okay, so what I did here was I went to the skill menu and I bought another skill that allows me to equip 2 accessories at the same time. That will let me use the second set of handcuffs. Alright, what I didn't do, though, was equip my Aloha shirt. That fight went horribly. that was a terrible, terrible version of this fight. This one goes a little bit better. We got a level up, and so we're doing a little bit of extra damage. Lets us one-shot them. So one more fight.
You're not passing
So now we're going to run back to the very entrance of the train. The reason why we do this is because you have to go the full distance of either the train or the train station regardless. So if you run back to the beginning, you'll end up right next to the exit once you get to the next train station. If you just wait, well then that's 5 seconds of dead time and you're going to have to run the whole way back anyways. Alright, so right up here is Metro Stadium. The Mike Haggar Stadium. So there are a couple items we're going to get here. There's another bronze nugget. There is also a stamina booster, which acts kind of like punch boosters in that it will increase your health permanently, but it will also fully heal you, and that's the big reason why I want them. And you'll see that I don't actually use a whole lot of these throughout the course of the run. The reason why I don't do that is because I want to have as effective a healing item as I can get. The more health that I have, the less effective all of my healing items become, which means I might not make it to full health or to 90% health if I use a single healing item, and I'll have to use another one. Now, I don't remember that being an issue in this particular run, but it can work out that way if you use all of your vitality boosters right up at the beginning. Okay, so there was a slight pause here whenever I was talking to this guy. That slight pause was because I was checking to see if he had a shirt item equipped, or that he could drop. A lot of the people throughout the Metro City, you can fight, and they'll drop items. They'll give you money, they'll give you miles, and we can discuss miles in a little bit. But they'll also drop equipment, or dye, or things that you can sell. That shopkeeper drops a shirt that acts like the handcuffs. So you equip it, and I'm going to equip the Aloha shirt here, because I had forgotten to do that earlier. But you equip it, and it takes the place of this Aloha shirt, and when you're over 90% health, rather than over 70%, you will get a large damage boost. That helps a lot. The large damage boosts over the course of the game, they double effectively your damage. And so you want to have as many of them as possible, and that shirt will apply it. Instead, I've got, 1.5, 1.75 times the amount of damage that I would do base.
Good job.
Alright. So this whole sequence that I'm going through right now is to it's acting as a preliminary qualifier to joining the tournament here in a little bit. It's a fighting tournament. Get to show off your skills. I'm going to go up and do that. So we fought the guy after looking at him over on the street. We fought the girl, and now we're going to fight one last person. And this guy uses Luke's style. He likes to open up with a knee, which puts him in range of a Gladius. Let's talk about Gladius for a second. Gladius is the single hardest hitting combo move in the game. It will also, if you hold it, you can charge it up and do what I've been doing right now. And that will do a full kind of sort of cutscene attack and just about double its damage. That charged up version of it will do as much as a full combo.
This sucks.
In about the same time, but you don't have to risk getting in. As you're charging it, it has armor on your upper body, and so a lot of moves will just plink and then you punish counter them, which will multiply your damage by 1.2. It also has a long reach, which is very good. My character design is built because of Gladius. It has a really long reach. I can reach them from about halfway across the screen. Alright, so I'm coming back here. Didn't have it. Go back and enter the tournament. Or finish registering for the tournament. Alright, so once I do this, there's going to be a small cutscene where a woman and a pretty burly dude is going to come up and register for the tournament as well. Those guys will be important later. I'm going to skip through it. because I'm not here for the story. I'm here for the speed. Alright, so now Li Fen has just called us back. We're going back to Chinatown. Let's fast travel there. That's why I got that bus stop. This and several other times I'm going to be coming back here. So we're going to go and talk to Li Fen. Li Fen wants us to find and get a year's supply of food, effectively, from this Balbro. Balbro is kind of the mascot for her favorite restaurant. And so we have to go find him, we have to fight him, we have to knock him out, and then that will get us a ticket that we then give to her. Because that's what friends do. We go beat up mascots of restaurants and then, you know, give them a year's supply of food. Alright, so I picked up that training center fast travel for this quest. That's the only time we ever use it. We use it then, and we're going to use it right again, but that's it. We're never going to use the training center fast travel point again. But running that way would still take us 30 seconds to a minute. So just getting it while we were there earlier makes a lot of sense. Okay, so this fight can be done a couple of ways. What I'm doing is I'm just using Gladius, right? So I'm just using Gladius, because I know that he's going to try and get in, he's going to try and grab me, he's going to try and upkick me. So I'm just charging up my Gladius and letting it hit him. There is another way to do it. You can use Manon's command throw, Menashdore, to grab him and loop him over and over. And that loop will also defeat him in about the same amount of time as the Gladius. The difference is, if he tries to block you, the command grab will still grab him. But if you whiff it, if you fail, if you don't get in time, he'll kick you. And he'll knock you back and you'll have to try again. But then he'll be up on you and he'll have Oki, and he'll just be able to continue fighting you while you're trying to get back up. So I use Gladius. Gladius hits a little bit harder while you have the XL boost on. And you don't have to charge up the medals for Manon's command grab. So I think it takes just a little bit shorter period of time to use Gladius. Alright, now we're actually going to go and fight in the tournament. We gave Li Fen a little microchip so that she could figure out what was going on with it. Bosch had given it to us after the jury fight. It's part of the story. It's something that we don't really care about, except that it leads into the next part of the story. So we gave that to her. We gave her your supply of food. We beat up the Balbro. And now we're going to go join this tournament. Pick up our attack boost, extra large, because that's what food is for. Makes us really strong. And we're going to go through our fights. This first fight can be a pain in the butt. He uses Ken's moves, so he has the Hadoken and he has Tatsu. Tatsumaki Senpukyaku. And so if he hits you out of the air, like that, then you might get stuck. You want to get him into the corner as fast as possible, because in the corner, it's easy to combo him. Alright, so that fight can be a pain if you don't take over quickly. This next fight's pretty easy. So that last guy used Ken's style. This next one uses Cammy's style. What I like to do is I like to jump in and then start with a grab, or a target combo to just start knocking her backward. Once she's in the back, you can start jumping in for a combo into Gladius. The jump in combo, jump heavy Gladius is the highest DPS that I've been able to find. But you have to be in a specific position in order to actually effectively use it. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Other useful combos that I use, down medium, or crouching medium into Gladius, which is a quarter circle forward motion. Jumping heavy into heavy, or into back heavy, or Marissa's style specifically. Jumping heavy into back heavy into heavy Gladius works. I set the crouching medium into medium Gladius. The heavy target combo is good for knocking them backward. The Eagle Spike is very good for knocking them backward if you can hit with it. Okay, so this guy uses Marissa's style. And he's the story character that I was mentioning earlier.
Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? Player 1, this is going to hurt. Big trouble here. The stun is going to leave them defenseless.
So, if you're not careful, this guy can get in on you. He will do the Sparta kick on you. He will charge in with a shoulder check. But he falls pretty easily with Gladius. Does not do very well against him.
One chance here may end the KO.
And that's the tournament. So you fight a Ken clone, you fight a Cammy clone, and you fight a Marissa clone. Of them, the Ken clone is the most difficult, generally speaking. He'll knock you around, bounce you around. The others, you can kind of just do whatever you want to. Alright, so now we're going back to Leaf End. She figured out what was on the microchip that we gave her. She's out at the Bao Bao restaurant, and so she's enjoying her year's supply of food. And she figured it out, and she's going to tell us what's going on.
Hi. Well,
But before we can get to her, we have to go through somebody else, and his name is Jamie. Jamie is another master character that we are going to lose to. I saved up another Jawbreaker for this fight as well, because it takes forever while he doesn't have any drinks. Now that I've actually got a shirt on, my defenses have gone up. So I want to reduce my defenses as much as I can. I save the Jawbreaker for this. Drink. He's like, oh, wait, you're not a gangster? My bad. Yeah, thanks.
Catch you later.
So, if we wanted to, we could go back and talk to him a little bit later. He would let us learn his style. We're not going to go do that. Alright, so she's enjoying her shopping. It's basically a burger. And then she's going to explain what she found. And what she found was a series of pictures that will tell you a code. You don't have to go and get those pictures. You can just type in the code, which is what I'm going to do here. 332951. And that's going to unlock a contact. This contact is kind of like a fixer. You know, you give him information, he brokers information back to you. He'll explain what people want you to do, and he'll give you kind of quests. He'll give you some guidance. Fixer being a term from Cyberpunk. So, what he says is, okay, tell you what, you want information about Bosch? I'll look into it for you, but I need you to go and find a bunch of these master characters for me. So right now we're going to go find a bunch of master characters. Right. That safety helmet. Okay, so that safety helmet we bought from the vendor who drops the shirt. I should have used food, one, and I should have swapped my hat back to the other one. This fight can be ended in 2 tags, in 2 touches. Instead, it takes 5. So we extend this fight, 6 touches. We extended this fight by 3 times its usual length by not wearing the proper hat and not having the right food buff on. So I'm going to fix that now. Put on the hat. And then here in a little bit, I will get the food. Right now it's not really necessary, but it'll be necessary here in 3 or 4 minutes. Okay, so we found Ken Masters. Now we're going to go find a Japanese fighter. Yep, I went back to go check because I have to come this way anyways. We're looking for a Japanese fighter, and so we go to this sumo restaurant, the Edoman, the Chonko House. So we're gonna go in here. We're going to find Honda. Honda's not really who he was looking for, so we go to Japan to find Ryu. Alright, so this tutorial is our introduction to the camera system. And so we'll take a photo of Honda in mission mode so that we can submit it to our broker. And then we're going to head off to Japan.
See ya.
Right. Now here's Ryu. We're going to take a picture of Ryu, send that to the broker. It's like, oh yeah, that's the guy. That's Ryu. He's a Dragon Punch. Great work. All right. Now I need you to go back to where you fought that first guy at, where you found Ken. And there's a security guard outside. He's going to give you a key card. I need you to come back at night and, get some information from him there. Okay. So we're going to go talk to the security guard, get ourselves a key card, and then sneak into the CERN building. Currently under construction.
Hey.
Alright. This guy, I don't actually do his side quest. I just pick it up because whenever I'm going through the map, I want to be able to click on Beat Street. I want to be able to click on the fast travel point, and his quest marker is right on top of it. So I just get rid of his quest marker so that I can have easier clicking.
How about a dance?
Alright, so now we're going to talk to the security guards again. Like, oh, I remember you. You must have been told about the night shift. Welcome to the CERN building. Welcome to the night shift. So the night shift is basically all of the workers are like, yeah, we had a long day. We need to, kind of wind down. We're going to beat each other up. And so they do, right? And now I actually use the food buff because I'm going to be going through this whole section. And I will have to fight a few people. Including this guy again. See the difference food makes? It is massive. The damage buff that you get from food and from the proper equipment. Alright, so we unlocked a control panel, which is going to move a train with a storage container on it. But that storage container takes a little while to get there. So why not do a fight in between? Get some experience, get a fight out of the way, and just kill some time until the crane gets here. Okay, so up here, we're going to get another control panel. But before we get to there, we have to go through this cutscene. Somewhere on this cutscene, you can position yourself so that when you come out of it, you will be right next to that control panel. I don't know exactly where that point is. I have an idea, but I haven't been able to consistently land it. If you are right next to the wall on your right-hand side as you're going up into that cutscene, running straight ahead, full straight ahead, not hugging the wall, then I have been able to get right next to that control panel from there. Okay, so these guys are drones, as you can see. They fly. They will go over the vast majority of your attacks. You kind of have to jump up or use an anti-air in order to hit them. If you don't, these guys will poison you. Drones are by far the most tedious enemy to fight, with one exception. And that will be much later. But if you don't hit the drones quickly after they recover, they'll start flying around and you'll have to chase them down, and they're kind of elusive in the air, especially for Marissa's style, because her hitbox for the punch is very specific compared to someone like Luke, where Luke's is just kind of, he throws his foot out there and hits. Marissa's punch may or may not actually hit them. Okay, so I just ran past that quest marker girl because the only thing I needed was to figure out where a lab coat was. I already knew where the lab coat was. It was in that chest. However, this guy will not let you progress through this console until you talk to him. So you have to talk to that guy. Now, a small cutscene, and we meet our next master, Kimberly. Kimberly is a relatively simple fight. She's usually pretty good about hitting you and maintaining the damage. I will be using another Mighty Jaw Destroyer to increase her damage. The reason why I've been drive rushing, which is kind of that green border, is because during drive rush, if they hit you, it's a counter hit, and you'll take a little bit of extra damage. Alright, we've met Kimberly, we'll never meet her again. Time to continue progressing up the tower. So our next fight is against a refrigerator and friends. So at this point, I used another attack boost because I wasn't sure I was going to be able to start the fight before the attack booster ran out, and I really want that food buff going whenever I fight these enemies. This fight, in particular, has been known to cause problems. For me, in particular. So the fridge is kind of odd. On top of that, extreme battle mode Tesla coils, the fridge throws projectiles. But at the same time, it's very defensive. It has armor as long as the door is closed. So you have to either break its armor with something like a heavy gladius, or a drive impact, or you have to hit it while the door is open. But while the door is open, it's going to be sending out projectiles. Alright, so right now, I'm going through the skill tree because I need to unlock that. And what that enables me to do is to equip the lab coat that I obtained from the CERN building without actually equipping it. It's just an aesthetic. I want to be able to wear my Aloha shirt, or if I had the Death t-shirt, I could wear that. But I want to be able to wear that damage-boosting shirt for the next fight. The next fight is a fight against 2 Humbas, which are the little robots on the ground. They act kind of like Roombas, except they attack you. And a drone. Except all of the machines are buffed. The Humbas will attack you 3 times every time they charge up, and the drone will attack you with 2 missiles. The missiles do a ton of damage, regardless of whether you're using a jaw destroyer or not. They will, if they both hit you, you're dead. At this level, you're going to be dead if they both hit you. So you want to be very careful, and you want to do as much damage as possible very quickly. Alright, so we went out to this carrier because we needed to get another picture for our contact. And that picture is going to be of Guile. But before we can do that, we're here to deal with this mechanical problem that these robots are having. And what dealing with it means is we're going to beat them down.
Final round. Fight.
Alright. So now that that drone is out of the way, that's the worst of it finished. Now, those fights would have gone even faster if I had used a healing item. I'm not at 90% at this point. If I had used a healing item, my damage would have gone up even more. I might have been able to 2-touch that drone. Or 3-touch it, rather than 4 or 5. I talked to Guile. I have the ability to get his style if I want it. Took a picture for my guy. And now I'm gonna head over here and buy some more jaw destroyers.
What can I get for you?
Before that, I'm gonna sell as much stuff as I can. I don't need that hat anymore. I can get rid of that, get rid of that. Get rid of those. And then I will buy a few of these.
Thank you. Please come again. Well,
Alright. Making it back to land. But something has happened. Li Fen, our friend, the one that we gave a year's supply of food to, has been kidnapped. And we have to figure out what happened to her. She's missing, she dropped her phone, they don't know where she is. She's been kidnapped. Who took her, where did they go?
What?
So we're going to talk to a few people, find out that the Balbro has been frequenting the Mad Gear hideout at night
What's that?
for orders of extra meat Xiaobing, which is Li Fen's order. So we're gonna go and pay them a visit, figure out what's going on. Alright, so I buy some more food here. That's because I had to fight Balbro again. Now again, you can fight him in one of two ways. You can either use Gladius, which is what I choose to do here, or you can get a throw boosting move and use Manon's command grab. The command grab is effective. So here it gets a little hairy, because he is a little bit more difficult in that his timings are just a little bit different. He likes to defend more, which he didn't do previously. So he's a little bit tougher. Obviously, he's got higher level and more HP that I have to go through, and I'm not all that much higher level than I was when I first fought him. I was only level 13 or 14 when I first fought him, and now I'm 16. So, but his level has gone up from 19-ish to level 30 at this point. So there is a level gap that I have to get through. Fortunately, he didn't give me too much trouble, but that fight can go very, very badly if you're not careful. Alright, so I just got myself a disguise. I got the Balbro helmet. Only one person in Metro City wears the Balbro helmet, and that's Balbro. So with his hat on, I must be Balbro, even though I don't wear the rest of his suit. But I'll just walk up to the Mad Gear guy, like, oh, you look like Balbro.
What's up?
Yeah, we'll let you in. Come on in. Balbro is a beloved character all among Metro City because he's a mascot for a very popular restaurant. Oh, it's Balbro? No, it's not Balbro.
No way.
You didn't recognize me? Come on. There's only one person as tall and broad-shouldered as this,
Well,
with a very, very tiny head. Alright. So I need to put my hat back on. I've got my moves all set up, that's fine. I'll increase the kick strength and maybe something else. No, I didn't improve anything else. And now we fight. So we have raided the Mad Gear hideout and trying to take our friend away. So what I got hit by was, see that crane in the background? That crane is a hazard, and it will come and drop things on top of you if you're not careful. Okay, so this fight can go terribly wrong. Because he will do that flip kick. And he will also call in assistance. And that can happen. So you can get downed by the assistance, by his kind of reversal, his flip kick, if you're not careful. So here's another flip kick, and there's another flip kick. So if you don't manage to finish a combo, you have to hold back. Otherwise, you're going to for a flip kick. Alright, and that's the Thrasher fight. So that fight may or may not give a lot of people trouble. It gives me some trouble sometimes. It gives several of the others in the speedrunning community trouble sometimes. We're just really low leveled for this fight, and he's got a lot of tools to deal with. A lot of tools, a lot of health. Alright, so right now he's saying, yeah, great job, you've grown up a lot since the last time we met. Why don't you come to Mad Gear? We'll talk. I'm like, nah. He's like, alright, well that's fine, you'll be back.
There you are.
So now we're gonna go check up on Liten, who has been through a traumatic experience. And it's absolutely wounded her psychologically. Being facetious, if you can't tell. She's been kidnapped multiple times in her own canon. So... for her, it's just another day at the office. But yeah, we're gonna go check up on her, make sure she's doing okay. She's gonna explain to us kinda how things are going on. There's a company called, or a group called Shadaloo who keeps popping up, and they've been popping up for years now. And so they're somehow involved in things that are going on. Alright, so I use another food because there are two fights, and they're about 3-5 minutes apart. So I use food. There's a fight right at the beginning when I get to Nightshell. And there's a fight right at the end before I come back to Metro City. Alright, so here's the first fight. Both of these guys like to use projectiles. They also like to defend a lot. So, having the food buff up really helps just end that fight quickly. Otherwise, you have to deal with shenanigans. Shenanigans can happen in that particular fight. Unlocked a fast travel point. The fast travel points here are actually all kind of relevant. There are a couple that you don't actually have to unlock, but the ones that are out there and just available in the world, you'll want to unlock those.
What is it?
Alright, so I'm going to run down this pipe and then turn to the side and spinning bird kick. The reason I'm doing this is there's a couple guys down there that I don't want to fight, but they very frequently hit you as you're trying to pass them by.
Oh, that's right.
Alright, so I just picked up a skirt, so I can actually equip some pants for the first time in a while, and I get my first hat that's actually better than what I've got in the last hour. So I'll be using this hat for the next 30-45 minutes or so, before I get something better. Pants, put on the skirt, and now I will go over here. See, on that particular case, I didn't mean to hit Rising Uppercut. I meant to hit Spinning Bird Kick. I hit the wrong input. And then I get hit here. This is a fight that does not always happen. So I just hit escape because, you know, I don't want to deal with it. It is a fight that you can fight and win, but sometimes you're dealing with 3 people who like to do that to you, so you may or may not win if you fight them back. And I happened to beat them right before I would have escaped. So I did get some extra experience out of that. But the experience doesn't really matter. Right, whenever we're fighting multiple enemies like this, very few of them actually matter. Very, very few. A couple at the beginning matter. But the ones here, not so much. So I used the stamina booster because it was a full heal. So that I could fight this guy dealing a lot of damage every time I hit. This guy I used to fight a lot using the command grab, because he is really weak to the command grab. He will try to charge in, he'll try to defend a little bit, he has armor on a lot of his moves. Gladius goes through that. And having the punch boost XL from Metro City before you get here is very beneficial in that fight.
Hey.
Hey, hold up.
Alright, so this particular message. Our contact is like, hey, I looked into Bosch. It turns out he's been taken by somebody from a group called Shadaloo or Neo Shadaloo. They're not good. If they've got their hands on him, he's probably already dead, because they like to do experimentation with psycho power. So if Bosch has been taken by them, they've probably experimented on them, and the survival rate's really low. So he's probably dead.
So you use throws against
That other fight that we just did, also not necessary. Usually can make it by without them hitting me, but in this case, I didn't manage to do it.
You'll understand.
the thing is, please.
Alright, so we just got a little bit of money. We're going to pick up another silver nugget. And then we're going to go over and talk to a guy named Punch. Punch is the arbitrator for an outlaw tournament. Groups like the Mad Gear Gang show up to tournaments like this so that they can end up in the main tournament at the end of the game, is what we'll end up doing. So we're trying to get in, and they're like, I don't know you. You're not part of any group. You haven't signed up. You haven't paid for anything. Go away. Okay, fine. Let's go talk to Mad Gear then. Go back and talk to Thrasher. Turns out he was right. We did come back. And he explains, like, hey, that money that Bosch took at the very beginning, yeah, that was so that we could pay our entry fee. So if you want to help out, welcome back, but you're going to be under Mad Gear's name.
Found you.
But there's a problem. There's another group from Metro City that wants to go. That was an accidental talk. Don't actually have to talk to her. There's another group that wants to go, and they're called the Crows. The Crows are way more powerful than Mad Gear. Like, way more powerful than Mad Gear. Generally speaking. Thrasher's the only one who can kind of keep up on par with them.
What's a guy to do?
The rest of his goons don't line up. And so we're going to have to go talk to the Crows, figure out how they want to settle this dispute. They're going to come back and say, let's do a team battle. We're going to have, like, our guys versus your guys, and the winner gets to send somebody to the tournament. Well, for Mad Gear, that kind of sucks, because Mad Gear's gang members are real low. They're real weak.
What do you want?
So he's going to send us out and say, okay, you need to go find some ringers for us, or you're not going to be able to make it in. Before we get there, we have to deal with the Crows. Okay, so we went in, fought the crows. They're like, hey, Mad Gear's raiding. What are you doing here? You're in the wrong neighborhood. Well, we come in and say, hey, I'm here on business. Okay. And then I take their silver nugget because I beat them. So, hey, I'm here on business from the Mad Gear gang. Let's figure out how to deal with this problem that we've got.
You move.
They're like, okay, let's do a team battle.
Waltz away.
And we're going to go talk to Thrasher. To let him know what they said.
What?
So we ask him again. Oh, that's me just misinputting again. So we're going back to Nigel. He's like, hey, my goons are way too weak for this. Go find some ringers. You can go over there. They're usually pretty strong over there. And he's not wrong. They are pretty strong over here. So the first guy that we're going to take a look at is this guy. He's up on a finger, handstand on the finger. And he just gets,
No way.
sideswiped by this guy, this cardboard combatant. This guy just beats the stuffing out of the local fighters. Well, guess who it is? I can't tell you. It's a cardboard combatant. So we beat him up in a couple rounds. Best way to deal with him is exactly like that. So you back up, let him go to the corner, or take him to the corner. You can either jump in on him, or in the case of one of my compatriots in the speedrunning community, he likes to back up and use Luke, and he will do Luke's heavy target combo instead. Marissa's heavy combo isn't particularly good for this. It will knock him down, but the damage itself isn't great. You can't combo into a special from it. And so I like to jump in rather than using target combos for this. Alright, so we fought that guy. He ran off. Not really gonna follow after him. We talked to that guy. Hey, do you want to join us? No, I really can't. I got injured by that guy who just ran off. I can't do a whole lot. He beat me up earlier. This is our first person. That is Damini. And she uses Blanca's style. Pretty good. She happens to be right there next to the fast travel point. So getting her is quick and easy. Now, there are a couple people that we could get instead of our current, route. The route that we normally take is Damini, right there at the fast travel point. Then we come over here, talk to Alyssa, because she wants to join in the fight. So we talk to her, because she's right here, right next to Thrasher. And then we go up and talk to Thrasher, and he will be our final teammate. Previously, we had options, right? So instead of Damini, we could go back toward the pier where we went to unlock Guile and go to the carrier. We could go back there. There's a guy waiting there who likes to use throws. He uses Zangief style. He throws a lot. He does about the same speed as Damini. I went here just one more time to see if there was a shirt. There wasn't. But yeah, we could go back to the pier and get some throws. If I had unlocked the fast travel point there, would have been fine. But just talking to Damini is a bit faster. Right now, we are selling a bunch of stuff so we can get more energy drinks. Energy drinks are going to be very, very, very important here in just a few minutes. So after we go through this crow's fight, oh, sorry, I got sidetracked. Okay, so Damini, we can get her. We can get the guy who throws. She is faster to talk to, so we talk to her instead. Now, previously, we could have teleported back to Chinatown because the old man that we talked to, whenever we were looking for Li Fen after she got kidnapped, he is also a fighter. He uses Chun-Li style. Oh, managed to avoid those fights. Good. He is also a fighter that you can use. He is a defensive fighter. He will win his fight, probably. I have seen him lose exactly once. So he will usually win his fight. Winning these fights gets you experience. And so whenever we were first learning, we used him because he would win the fight, get you some experience, make the rest of the game just that much easier. But going to him is actually kind of slow. He takes a while to win his fight. So it's not really a great trade-off in terms of just speed. Here I hit the F button a little bit overzealously, and I started sliding down the ladder rather than just climbing it. So instead of using the old man, we use Alyssa, who was right next to Thrasher. So anytime that she would lose in losing the fight, because she will always lose this fight, I have never seen her win. Anytime that we would lose because she loses her fight has been made up just because we don't have to go and do more fast traveling, you know, change the time of day again. Alright, during this time period, we as players really aren't doing anything. The only thing that we can do is hit the escape button or hit X if you use a controller or whatever so that you can progress through to the next fight. So this time period is a really good time to get up, take a stretch, you know, use the bathroom.
Get this.
So this fight, Thrasher always wins, but he doesn't always win quickly. Can he win quickly? Yes, he can. But his RNG and her RNG, whenever they're actually fighting, I think I've seen him lose once. Okay, this fight against Rudra. Get him to the corner. Fast as you can. Eagle Spike is great for that. Another move that's really good for that, Honda Headbutt. Honda Headbutt's really good for that. You want to get him to the corner, start comboing him. He's really weak to combos. If you don't, he's a pain in the butt. He is a Dalsum follower, or a Dalsum clone. So if you don't get him to the corner quickly, he can be an absolute pain to deal with. Okay, so we won the fight. which means now we can go back to Nitro and tell Punch that we are the representative for Mad Gear. We tried to tell him that earlier, but he didn't believe it. This time he'll actually believe us. Okay, so on that pipe, when you're getting off of the pipe, that spot is actually pretty specific. That spot there will let you fall over a couple rooftops, rather than straight to the ground. The fall to the ground causes you to stagger a little bit before you actually go down, whereas the fall to the rooftops lets you just drop. So you kind of want to get the very corner of the rooftops and then continue forward, falling straight to the ground. If you don't, you'll either end up on the rooftops and have to do another fall off of a ledge, which loses you a little bit of time, or you will stagger at the top. Now, of course, to get around that, you could just use a master action. But the master actions, you also have to lose, and then you have to recover from landing from them. So there is a small optimization in going for the corner. Okay, so the reason why I'm going over here is for this throw booster. That's the second of 2 throw boosters that we get in this run. We got the first one at Lily's place in Thunderfoot Settlement, and we get the second one here. Between the 2 of them, we get an additional 50 to our throw stat, plus 50 to our throw stat permanently. We don't use the throw stat except for Manon's command grab. And I've only used the command grab 2 times, 3 times so far. That's about to change. Here in this tournament, we use the command grab a lot. The fighters all use different styles, and so they all take different things to win. But the command grab beats all of them except for one. So just darting in, command throw looping them is very effective against every single one of these tournament fighters. And in fact, against every single tournament fighter, if you choose to use it. So the previous tournament, wherever we went through the Mike Hagar Stadium and Metro City, that tournament can be done with command throws. This tournament's about to be done with command throws. There is another tournament at the end of the game where I use almost exclusively command throws. And in fact, I think I do... Oh, yeah, see here. It's pretty precise. You either land it on the way down, or you end up on the rooftops.
Hey. All right.
So this tournament, I'm using the command throws. So having that throw boost, very important for here and for later. Elsewhere in the game, I don't really use it. Outside of this spot and that spot, that's just about it. But first time, I'm going to use throw food. The throw food here is the same as the throw food in Metro City. But in Metro City, you get punch boost extra large. So Gladius is actually better there. So this guy is a little bit troubling because he likes to do that. He's using Chun-Li's style, so that lets him jump up against the wall and over you. And you can, jump up after him and kind of spike him back down, but letting him land and just using the command throw is better in terms of just the damage that you get. Otherwise, you have to time the throw loop again. So I just like to jump in for the first round because he doesn't really do anything. But fifth round, he will dragon punch you, or rather, 10 show kicks. Not lightning kicks. 10 show kicks is he will kick up into the air and anti-air you. So second round, I don't like to jump in on him. But first round, you can. So there, when I was missing, I kind of got lucky that he didn't attack me the first time. Alright, this next person is a user of Manon's style. He will kind of do lows, he'll overhead, jump in, he'll use throws. Kind of does it all if you're not careful. So at the beginning of every round, I will kind of jump at him to see what he's going to do, and then punish counter anything that he does. Once he gets to the corner, though, you can just loop him. As long as you don't mess it up like I did there. Right? So he'll come up and over, he'll miss, and then you can throw him again. You can throw loop him the entire round. So that was a case where he wanted to use an overhead. We both jumped, and he managed to hit me before I hit him. You can just spike him back down, and then dash in and do a command grab. And that's pretty consistently all you have to do. And that's the round. But he will block and then counter or punish counter you if you try to just attack and use Gladius. So I really like throws for this fight. I also really like throws for this fight. She does basically nothing to you. So like in this case, I just, performed poorly. If you go in and you just grab her, that's basically game over for her. However, if you go in with strikes instead of throws, she will drive reversal you. So she'll block and then hit you back and counter it. And then start coming at you with your standard, NPC moves. And again there, I kind of did a miss input. So I took a hit. And any hit that they do is going to take me down below that 90%. So I have to have enough healing items to make it through the entire tournament. That is why I went and got those healing items earlier. Because this is a gauntlet of 5 enemies. I need enough healing items to keep myself up above 90%. It's not whenever I take a lot of damage I have to heal up. It's if I take any damage I have to heal up. Otherwise I lose a ton of damage. Alright, so right now I am switching to Luke style. I'm switching to Luke style specifically for this person. Now this person, I did say the throw didn't work against one person, and that person's now. This is a Kimberly user. And she will very consistently just jump over your command throw. So the command throw takes a startup of 5 frames. She will very consistently jump over it and then punish counter you and go into a full combo. So the best way to deal with her is just target combo. Heavy target combo into Gladius. So now that I've got her in the corner, I can deal some work. And some damage. because Luke's heavy target combo kind of frame trapped, if he tries to do anything in between the heavy attacks, he will get countered.
Brace yourself.
But, yep, I just missed another input. If you back up, do that little backdash, she will very frequently, you know, miss time anything that she's about to be doing. So she might try to run at you, she might try to punch at you, just close the distance somehow. I just need one more tag in order to close out the round. But this fight here, by far the hardest one of the tournament. By far, it's not even close. Getting low on healing items at this point. Finally got her back into the corner where I can loop her, but it took forever to get there. And that's the route. Fight. Again, by far the worst. This next one, super simple by comparison. Incredibly simple by comparison. It's almost like the third fight in that if you go for strikes or if you go for like jump-ins, he'll drive reversal you. He might drive impact you. But you can just throw it. You can just loop the throw and it won't be able to do anything to you. Except you'll also get a ton of counter hits because he keeps trying to drive reversal you. Or drive impact you, rather. But your drive impact just, or your throw just goes right through his drive impact. So a ton of these attacks end up being counter hits, which will do 1.2 times more damage than normal, 20% more damage. And you'll get a lot of counter hits. So, with all of the boosts, even if he tries to do a drive impact there, he has so little health that just a jab would kill him. Alright, so this guy's like, whoa, I didn't know Mad Gear was still in business. And I'm like, they're kind of not. I'm a ringer. Whatever, you're part of the tournament now. You won. You're working for the Outlaws now. Okay, sure. I'll join the tournament as part of the Outlaws. Alright, so now we're going back to Chinatown. We're going back to Chinatown because Lee Fen wants us to be careful. She's like, you know, maybe you probably shouldn't do all of this. Is this in search of strength? Like, what? Do you really have to do something like this? Couldn't we get Chun-Li to go instead? And, you know, it's just kind of her working through it. Just because it's a pretty dangerous mission, you know. She's kind of worried about you. I mean, you did get her the food. She doesn't want to lose you. Anyways, we're gonna go to the pizza place. Picture. Hey, show up here. Okay. So we got a message from Bosch, and he's like, show up at the CERN building at night. Come up to the roof. We'll talk there. Now, there is a fast travel point over here, but in order to unlock it, you have to go through a side quest that takes like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Unlocking it for the 20 seconds that it takes to run over here is not worth it.
Hey, we're working here.
Spinning fire.
Engage. Fight.
Okay, so the crane just got there, just in the nick of time. We fight the dude, get back on the crane. Make our way back up. We don't have to go through another cutscene this time, so we just run around the side of the building, climb up the sledge, and go to the control panel. Now, to avoid these guys, you want to hug the left edge. You want to hug the edge of the building, preferably without hitting it. If you hit it, you kind of do the little stagger step thing, which is not good, because then you get caught by the enemies there, and you get punched, and then you have to fight them, and you lose time. Every time you get caught by a set of enemies like that, if you're going to run away, then it takes, 25 or 30 seconds just to get the runaway to be completed, from the time you got punched to the time you're able to move again. So it's a long time to just basically wait on a fight that you're not going to actually fight. So you want to avoid as many of those as possible. Alright, so this hat is the next best hat that I'll be using. And I'll be using it up here in a moment once I get to the very top. It has a special property similar to the shirt in that counter hits will deal more damage. However, if you get counter hit, you're going to take more damage. So this is much riskier than most of the other items. However, in this fight, it's super useful. Sir. And the fight's over. They both basically do the exact same opening every single time, and here I just get caught on, geometry. But they pretty much do the same opening every single time, and you're going to counter hit both of them. One of them gets counter hit and knocked out immediately. The other one goes through the animation and then gets knocked out. So, there's a cardboard combatant here where Bosch said he was supposed to be waiting. Right, and that's the cardboard combatant fight. Now, at the very beginning, there was another scene kind of like that, where we did fight Bosch. The cardboard combatant was Bosch. In case you didn't recognize it from earlier, that's him. That's your best friend. He's the one who's been missing, the one who got kidnapped by Shadaloo and injected with psycho power. So now, one last check. Last time I come over here, Still doesn't have it. Still no shirt. I think that's the last time I come over here. I forget. But still no shirt. So we'll have to make do with the Aloha shirt. Every time I go over there, it takes 5 to 10 seconds to go to the next spot. So I've lost 30 seconds to a minute just checking for his shirt. By this point. Now, actually fighting him takes a little bit of time too. You know, another 25, 30 seconds just for the fight from the time of engagement to the time of completion. And then going through the menu will take another 5 seconds or so to pick the shirt up, or to equip the shirt.
Rising uppercut.
Whoa, that was close. Alright, so what I'm doing there is called drive stall. Drive stall slows down time so that you can run past enemies whenever they're going to be attacking you. Or so that you can just slow them down and then attack them instead. If you hit them with a master action while they are highlighted white, that's kind of like the punish counter mechanic. So you'll deal extra damage if you hit them in that state than you normally would. If you have the right master actions, for example, Zangief's Screw Pile Driver, you can do a ton of damage to these low-level enemies, or rather to these overworld enemies, in just a single hit. Alright, so I came up here. Up here is a punch booster. Up here is a diamond. And I tried to drive stall around him and open up the chest. Well, that didn't really work. So I drive stalled, and I could try to escape, and I probably should have tried to escape. But I didn't. I decided to go for the experience instead, and it took a few seconds longer than it would have. But yeah, I got 695 experience. At the very beginning, whenever I fought that level 4 guy, I got 600 some odd experience then too. Because of some of the benefits that he has just for fighting him in a certain way. He gives you extra experience. So, at the very beginning, I got as much experience from that one dude as I got from those level 40 some odds. That sort of thing is why it's super valuable, at times, to fight people. Okay, so I went in, got a couple items. As you can see in the top left corner, I've got a whole list of items that I have to get. I just got 2 of them from there. Just got 2 of them. I have to give one of them to the counterfeiter from earlier. The one who took me to Marissa. And then the medal will be next. So I'm going to use a food buff, and then I'm going to go to Brazil.
All right.
Now, why would I be getting a gold medal in Brazil? Well, I get to beat up a mascot for his medal. Am I cute? No, you're not cute. I got a medal for being cute. What do you mean I'm not cute? And he gets mad. This guy is the highest level fight that we have had all game so far. So, level 25 versus level 50. This is the largest gap that we have had up to this point. It's not the largest gap that we will have, but it's the highest so far. So if you're not careful, you can absolutely get blown up by Blanca Chan. This first round went okay. This second round does not go okay. It looks like I'm gonna do okay, but a single hit, one hit, was enough to take out half my health, and boom, immediately destroyed. 2 hits were enough to deal my entire health bar. So you have to be very, very careful, especially when you're wearing this helmet. But having it on is better than having the sombrero on. Both because you get the benefits from having a counter hit increase. Ouch. Yep. Both because you get the benefits of having the counter hit increase, but also just because it's a punch boost, right? You do get a little bit of extra damage just from wearing the hat, even if you don't counter hit. Alright, so I beat up a mascot, and I got the gold medal from him. Now, going to Nitro. Earlier, I said that drones were the most annoying or the most tedious enemies that you could fight, with one exception. That exception's coming up. Not right now. It is not this upcoming fight. This upcoming fight has been rendered very, very meaningless. But the fight after this becomes a problem. So this fight, you can just spam Gladius, and you're fine. But so that fight's okay. This fight here is okay. It's got a lot of drone type, machine type enemies, which is a real pain in the butt. Because you have to do overhead attacks and low attacks, and overhead attacks and low attacks, and you can't hit multiple enemies at the same time with anything. So the fastest way is to just, run. Right? If you just run, the fight takes 15 seconds. This guy, though. This guy is zippy. He doesn't ever attack you, he just runs. And how do you deal with it? That's the question. How do you deal with this guy? He just keeps darting back and forth, and unless you happen to be at the exact right distance, you're not going to be able to hit him. So people like Blanca, or not Blanca, but Dawson can hit him pretty easily, but, anybody else is going to have some difficulties unless you manage to get him into a Gladius loop, which you can do. It is possible to do that, but you have to be very careful, very on point, in order to make that work. That fight generally takes a long time. And it's not because, they're hitting you back, it's because they're running away the whole time. So, it gets frustrating.
Let me clear.
Okay. So we just handed over all of the items that we had obtained to him. What he's gonna do with all of those items is make a bomb. So he is rigging a bomb into the championship belt. Whoever wins this tournament is going to be holding onto an explosive designed to kill the tournament organizer, a guy named JP. Because the tournament organizer came in, some years back, started upgrading, Nishal, the country, at least certain parts of it, came in with a charitable organization and started upgrading the place. But a lot of people really don't like what's going on. They don't like that guy being there. They don't like the loss of their tradition. So it's created this schism between kind of the outlaws and the resistance and this, JP figure and their company. So right now we're on the side of the resistance. But the resistance is fashioning up a bomb, right? And whoever wins the tournament is going to be holding on to it. Well, their plan... Oh, that was close. Their plan is to have Botch win the tournament and blow himself up in the name of taking care of JP. In the name of their traditions, in the name of their resistance, they're going to give Bosch a bomb so he can go suicide, blow himself up, and eliminate the threat to their lifestyle. Now, Bosch is our friend, and we don't like it when bad things are happening to our friends. That's why we've been looking for him all this time. And we've got some words to say about how we think this is supposed to go down. And generally the words are going to be Gladius! Gladius! Just OP. We're going to be spamming this Gladius for this fight the whole time. Rawancha just doesn't hold a chance. Boom! Yep. This is the fight. He just walks right into our fist. Now, if he tries to do anything, then he gets counter hit for extra damage, because we're still wearing the Sparta helmet. And that's the fight. This guy was level 50, got Marissa's style, same as Blanca, or Blanca-chan. Totally not Blanca. And we just walk up and Gladius him until he flops over. We hit him nearly 20 times.
Wait.
Just Gladius, 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 Gladius. And that's it. That was his fight. After him, we don't have any more fights except for the tournament, in which I will not be using Gladius again. Gladius, at this point, is over. So the reason why I paused there is because I was trying to decide whether or not I wanted to actually purchase the upcoming helmet. And I decided, yes, I do actually want to buy it. So I get the helmet here, I get the top here, and I equip it, and I get the shoes here. I don't get the pants. The reason why I don't get the pants is because there are pants already up there. There are pants at the tournament. And with all the money that, I spent, I buy myself some health items. Right? I I want to have at least 5,300 zenny left so that I can buy damage buff food for the upcoming tournament. I have to buy 3 of them because we have a few fights that I have to go through. We have 4 or 5 fights that I still have to go through. 1 food buff will last 2 fights. Okay, but it won't last all the fights. So I still need enough to buy 3 food buffs. The food costs 1,750 a pop. That ends up being like 5,250 for 3 foods. So I want to have at least 5,300 in order to buy food for all of the fights. This is JP. He caught us trying to disable the bomb. We realized that Rawancha gave us the safety for the explosive after we beat him up. So he gave us the safety, said, hey, this is what we're trying to do. Would you stop us? And we still go and try to stop it. But we get caught, and we're not able to put the safety into the device. Well, that's a problem. Because now the device, like, we have to win. Now we have to win. Otherwise, we won't be able to stop Bosch from using the bomb. So we have to win this tournament. Otherwise, Bosch will use it, and he'll kill himself. Alright, time to go win the tournament. So we go up here, that's fine, but instead of going into the cave this time, we're going to take a left. This way leads up the mountain. Or drone. Sometimes you'll find people there. Sometimes they'll be right here next to the ladder. Those guys are a bit annoying. Sometimes you'll find enemies right here at the top of the ladder or just under this one. And you'll have to try and avoid them as you go up. If you don't manage to avoid them, well, now you got a fight on your hands and that loses you 25 or 30 seconds. This chest has pants in it. And that is why I didn't buy them downstairs. Or in the cave. So I've got my helmet. I've got a shirt. The shirt is good. It is both defensively the best shirt in the game, and it has the same effect as the Aloha shirt that we had been wearing up until now. So all we get is a strict defensive buff. If we had managed to get Death's t-shirt, then we would have been able to keep and hang on to that. We would have had more money for, you know, items. Alright, so gear, put on my pants, skills. Alright, I don't really have any super arts. Drive recovery, or drive gauge regen increase outside of battle doesn't really help me. If you manage to get up to level 28 or 29, you can actually get more damage boosts, which can be useful. Excuse me. Alright, so this guy uses Zangief style and throws you a lot. He likes to throw you. He will also combo you into his Cyclone move. Like that. So if you're not careful, he can and will blow you up. But if you can get him into a loop, then you can just counter hit him whenever he's trying to do something else. Now granted, I'm not wearing the Sparta helmet anymore, but even if I were, the counter hits from the Sparta helmet don't apply to Manon's command throw. In fact, they don't apply to any of the command throws, they only apply to strikes. So having it equipped would be more detrimental at this point than helpful. Which is why I removed it and sold it. So in that case, whenever he hits you, he's going to go for a screw pile driver. he'll do that knee and then he'll do a screw pile driver. But that knee has a little bit of recovery time, so you can put in your own command grab before he gets it off. That is the fight. So this fight can go very well, it can go very poorly. Usually it goes pretty well, but sometimes he'll get you. This next fight is okay. It's a little annoying. The fighter likes to backstab. They'll backstab, they like to use projectiles. If you can get them to the corner, then sometimes they'll just jump around you. They might roll out. And then just, it's like an invincible roll, so you can't actually grab hold of them whenever they do that. But a lot of the time, they'll just stand there and wait. And if you try to use strikes against this person, they will drive reversal you. So they'll block, drive reversal, and then send you to the opposite side of the screen and just start chucking projectiles at you. So you kind of have to be careful. Yeah, it looks like this round went pretty well. She just stayed put. Last round she was jumping around all over the place, but this time looks like she just stayed put, made things easy. This next guy is a Honda style user. This guy can be troublesome. He will interrupt your attacks. He will defend and then counterattack. He will Honda headbutt you right at the beginning. He's got that jump in, which will hit you and cross up you. So you kind of really have to start the loop early, otherwise it just doesn't work. And even then, if you're just a smidgen late, he'll jump up, cross you up, and then blow you up in a single combo. So that first round he blew me up. The second round I managed to get him in the loop. And that time got me again. Scary. So, fortunately, this person did not follow up with a full combo after wall splatting me. But he can absolutely do that. So, I was able to close out the round thanks to a little bit of luck. Alright, this next person is also a little irritating. Not so much as that guy, because they don't really do a whole lot, but they like to teleport a bunch. and the teleports can avoid your throws. Alright, round 1 is complete. One more to go, and then we'll be in the last match. That can also happen. So if you grab for him and you miss, he can grab you back. So I just used the Ultra Mighty Jaw Decimator to close it out as quickly as I can. Now, the next fight is rough. The next fight is up against Bosch, and he's got all the tools at his disposal now. That, like, beginning fight, cardboard combatant fight, up on the CERN building fight, and now the final boss of the tournament fight. So he's got everything at his disposal. This fight is brutal. This is a very, very difficult fight to win.
All right.
So the first thing he's gonna do is like immediately throw that, and then he just jumps in and then starts up a combo. See, it's just absolutely like deletes your health. So I want to come in and grab him, but, you know, if he leans back like that, I just can't reach anymore. And so he shoots another thing at me, I get punish countered, it's going to hit me on wake up. Right? Now what? So I just lose. Makes things super simple. You can actually lose this fight, and you can continue. Turns out, Bosch is not the final boss. And he still blew himself up. But JP knew that the belt was rigged with the bomb. After he caught you snooping around there, he was like, okay, what's going on with this belt? Why did somebody come in here and try to manipulate with it? Oh, there's an explosive here. I can use this. And so he activates it and sends Bosch's sister, one of the dancers here, to go give him the belt. And then both of them are going to die. Bosch is like, I can't have that happen. And he tries to steal the belt away from his sister and get rid of it, but it's too late, and he blows up. So now, vengeance. We are fighting JP, the true final boss of the game. A level 26 versus a level 58. And we're just going to throw him, and throw him, and throw him. Just like fighting Rawancha was gluttonous. The words that we have to say to this guy are, caught you, don't be shy. Over and over again. Okay, so, an interesting little tidbit. With my particular build, this might be the case with other builds, I haven't tried them, I haven't tested them, but with my particular build and Chun-Li's style, he can jump in, and he will always try to anti-air me, but I will be just behind his foot, so that he can't reach me, and I'll be able to get a punish counter throw every single time in rounds 2 and 3.